Hey everyone, Alodar here, and I just wanted to go over something that was just recently tweeted out. In fact, just 23 minutes ago, Warcraft Devs tweeted out this Dev Watercooler update. Many of you know that this is the way that we've been getting the bulk of our information for World of Warcraft Classic. So I'm going to just go over a few of these. I'm going to go over it now step by step with you. I'm going to read through it, and I haven't really looked through it myself. I just wanted to kind of go over it with you guys and kind of give my thoughts on everything that's in it. So let's go on that. Inside the World of Warcraft Classic BlizzCon demo. Hello World of Warcraft community. With BlizzCon 2018 getting closer every day, we want to give you an update on what you'll be experiencing at BlizzCon around WoW Classic. We've been hard at work on bringing the original Azeroth back to life, and we're excited that you'll be able to get your hands on the demo we're creating for the show, both at BlizzCon and at home with a virtual ticket. How many of you have got the virtual ticket? Anyways, what to expect. So how long is this? Okay. So I'm going to read through this, and then kind of after every paragraph, I'm going to give a few of my thoughts. And then if you guys have any thoughts of your own, leave them down in the comment. We'll kind of go through it. We'll kind of chat about it for the next little while. So what to expect? From the beginning of this project, the team's mission has been to be as faithful as possible to World of Warcraft as it existed back in 2005, 2006. This is good. This is obviously good news for all those people that are worried that there's going to be all these changes and stuff like that. So before Cataclysm altered the world as we know it, and we wanted to make sure that the demo we built was for the show was a clear reflection of that. The focus of the demo is on outdoor questing, and we've selected two iconic zones that most original WoW players will no doubt be familiar with. Barrens for the Horde and Westfall for the Alliance. So this is, well, we'll comment on this at the end of the paragraph. So you can step back in time and experience these zones as they were originally designed. You'll be able to search for Mancrick's wife, curse at ornery Planestriders for not having beaks, and make a group to kill Defias pillagers in Moonbrook. You might even get to improvise a new rotation against the Harvest Golems and Farmer Seldian's farm, since in this era mechanical creatures may be immune to some of your abilities. We brought all of that back, and we're as excited about it as you are. So it looks like they're really gunning to make this exactly like vanilla as much as they possibly can. That's fantastic news. So the one big point that I want to mention here, obviously this one I already touched on, the team's mission has been to be as faithful as possible to World of Warcraft as it existed back in 2005, 2006. So it's fantastic for people that are worried that there's going to be too many changes. And then the two zones, Barrens for the Horde and Westfall for the Alliance. Now this is a bit of a surprise, a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. They'd announced previously that there was going to be a couple of zones for people to play, and I think everybody was just assuming that you're going to start at level 1 and then you're going to level up. And you know, I was thinking personally it was going to be like Durotar and Orgrimmar. You're going to be able to level up to like level 12, because they'd said in their previous update that you're going to be able to maybe spend a couple of talent points here and there. And I've just figured, okay, well, a couple of talent points is level 12. You can get up to like level 12, 13 when you're in Durotar, you know, that sort of thing, right? So I just put 2 and 2 together and thought, okay, Durotar and maybe Orgrimmar, and then maybe Elwyn Forest and Stormwind or something like that for the Alliance. But it looks like they're going to start you off right at Barrens and Westfall. So that's a little bit different, but that's kind of, you know, it doesn't really matter. You just, you know, you're gonna just basically have more abilities and stuff like that though. So let's carry on. Because it's a demo, there will be some limitations on the content. The Dead Mines and Wailing Caverns dungeon won't be available. The only PvP will be dueling. You won't be able to visit zones other than Westfall and the Barrens. We also typically limit the time in our BlizzCon our BlizzCon attendees can play a demo. And that will be the case for BlizzCon, WoW Classic demo player, and WoW Classic demo players at home. In order to maximize the number of people who can try out the demo, initially you'll be logged off after playing for a certain amount of time to give somebody else a turn. Sorry, is this just for people at BlizzCon? No, this has got to be for people at home too, right? We haven't determined exactly how long the time limit will be, but we're also planning some flexibility. So if you're able to relax the restriction and still give everyone who wants to play a great experience, then we'll do that. If you do find your session has ended before you're done everything you want to do, don't worry, your character will be there for you when you get back in for your next session, and all your progress will be saved. So out of this, we knew, well, I was pretty sure they weren't going to have any instances, Dead Mines and Wailing Caverns, so this is not a surprise or a big disappointment. The only PvP will be dueling. Well, I was under the impression that we were going to be getting Durotar and Elwyn Forest, so there's no PvP in those zones anyways. So I assumed it was just going to, you might. I didn't even know if you'd get dueling, to be honest. So the fact that we're actually getting dueling is a good sign. And you won't be able to visit zones other than Westfall or Barrens. So you won't be able to go, over to Durotar and then Orgrimmar or anything like that. You're going to have to stay in the Barrens, it looks like. Now there's a time limit, which is a little bit disappointing. I don't know what the time limit is. It hasn't said yet in this. This is a little bit disappointing as a streamer because I wanted to basically get up in the morning, stream, as high as I could, log off that character, log on to another character, rinse and repeat, and I was going to do this for like a week straight. But hopefully the time limit is more than like say 15 minutes. Like hopefully we'll be able to play for a few hours or something like that. But we'll have to see, I guess. But your characters can be saved so you can continue on. But I was hoping to just do an entire stream of just leveling and exploring and stuff like that. But hopefully the time limit's long enough that we can put in 3 or 4 hours or something. We'll have to wait and see. You'll start the demo at level 15. While we know that starting at level 1 holds a lot of nostalgia, you're also limited in what you can do when you're first starting out. Given the time constraints of the BlizzCon demo, we wanted to give players some freedom to explore and experiment with core systems like talents or professions, which are unavailable at level 1. We also wanted you to be able to get a good sense of the original class played. At level 15, warriors have defensive stance, priests have psychic scream, hunters have their pet, and so on. So at this level, you really start to feel like your class has some of the key tools that make the class distinct. Additionally, all characters will be capped at level 19, so 15 to 19. But you can create multiple characters, so you can try out as many different classes and races as possible. Okay, so we're starting at level 15, and they're talking about, let's see here. So they talk about it up here. You're going to be able to collect ornery Planestrider beaks. That's one of the very first quests in the Barrens. So you're going to be able to do all the quests in the Barrens. It sounds like all the quests are done and stuff like that, but they're going to cap you at level 19. I wonder if all the quests are still there. Like you're going to be able to do all the quests as though you were able to get up to level 20, 22, 23, whatever the max was that you'd be able to normally get up to in the Barrens. But if they just stop giving you XP, I'm not really sure. But it is interesting to see that they're going to allow you to play basically up to level 19. So it sounds as though they've got all the characters, the classes and stuff like that seem to be done, at least up until that point. So I was under the impression we were only going to be able to play up to level 12. So they're even a little bit further ahead than I thought. So overall, this is this here is pretty good news. I'm a little disappointed that we're not going to be able to walk into Orgrimmar or Stormwind. Just for pure nostalgia's sake, just to see it again. It might have been the first place I ran to just to see it, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. So what's new? As we mentioned in our original Dev Watercooler blog posted in June, we're building WoW Classic on the foundation of our modern code base. That means that you'll be able to download the demo through the Blizzard Battle.net desktop app and use the Battle.net chat integration. So here's our first change, guys. We knew this was coming too, so I don't want to make a big deal of this. We knew Battle.net was going to be integrated, and it's not like it's a big deal anyways. I see other people make videos where like, oh, I don't want Battle.net, I don't want this. Everybody back in the day was using a chat system anyways, and most people were using ICQ back in the day, for those of you that are old enough to remember that. And it essentially gave you the same thing that Battle.net did. You were able to talk to your friends and stuff like that. It was just a third-party program that people use, sort of like MSN Messenger or something like that. people were using Ventrilo or something like that. So it's not, this is not the end of the world, and you probably knew that this was coming anyways. Let's see. You also find there's improved support for widescreen monitors, so that's good. So we're not, here it is. So instead of the world looking stretched and disorientated in widescreen, it'll look like it did on your old 4:3 monitor, only bigger. Cool. So they're just increasing the width of your vision for your monitor. That's, I mean, those of us that have played on private servers, we're doing that anyways. So that's good to see that they've, that's another change, but it's for the good. All of the current game tools that help ensure World of Warcraft is a welcoming and fair environment, such as right-clicking player reporting, will also be in the BlizzCon WoW Classic demo. Cheats, bots, and other exploitive behavior will also not be allowed, of course. And the modern engine no longer permits some behaviors that could be used to get out of bounds. So like climbing up walls and stuff like that. Support for 32-bit clients has also been removed. I'm not sure that that's a big deal. One of our core values is play nice, play fair, and we want to do everything we can to ensure a few bad apples don't ruin the experience for others. So you're not going to be able to wall walk up and out of bounds and stuff like that, it sounds like. That's, I don't know if they consider that a bug. I know I was watching, I think it was on Classic Cast, where they were talking about how they thought it was interesting how players had found all these ways to explore areas they had never intended on allowing players to visit. So it looks like they're going to do their best to get rid of that sort of stuff. You'll also find that post-launch accessibility options such as colorblind mode are in the demo. I have to go back to this, but I think this is massive actually. I'm going to explain to you why this is really big. Though as we were working on it, we realized some words and images used in the current accessibility panel come from the modern game. So we replaced the modern icons with some classic icons and removed the term heirloom since it doesn't appear anywhere in WoW Classics. It's important to us that in situations like this, we blend the old and the new in such a way that it looks and feels like the game you remember. See you in November. We're really excited. The message that we're done, but because we're not, still have lots of work to do. BlizzCon demo is an important step in the process to bring the original life as authentically as we can. That's good news. Sorry, I'm rushing through this because this up here is really big, and I'm going to explain why. This is a great chance for you to see the direction we're heading and give us some early feedback. So be sure to leave your thoughts in the classic section. I will definitely be leaving my thoughts. Now this, for most of us who are not colorblind, this does not seem like a big deal. For those of you that are colorblind, it'll allow you access. And the reason why I'm making such a big deal of the fact that colorblind mode is added, well, two, it gives those that are colorblind the ability to play the game as the rest of us are, or to the best of their ability. The reason, now that's a big deal, don't get me wrong, but the reason why this is suddenly such a massive deal for me is because the only people that have previously announced that colorblind mode was going to be in the demo, hold on a sec, let me just check something here. Okay, so I'm gonna, remember we talked about the leak not long ago? We've talked about it on stream constantly, and I said I'm not sure where I stand on the leak because we don't know a lot of things that, like, the leak could just be a bunch of random crap. But I said we're gonna have to watch at BlizzCon to see if certain specific things in this leak are then announced at BlizzCon, because then it gives evidence that this leak is actually indeed true. Take a look at this. I'm going to put the links to both of this, the water cooler and the leak, down below. We've talked about this leak endlessly on stream. Where did I just saw it. I wanted to read it before I saw it here. Here it is. Only changes: improved texture, spell effects, improved view distance, and colorblind mode. Blizzard has never stated before that there was going to be colorblind mode in the water cooler updates anywhere else in any Q&As. I don't believe. I believe I've watched them all. I've never seen anyone else post about colorblind mode before except for this leak. Now maybe they guessed, But I said when I talked about this on stream and made a previous video about it, I said we're gonna have to watch for a couple of things to see whether or not they announce this at BlizzCon. And if these things start popping up at BlizzCon, it gives evidence that this leak is actually legit. So yes, it's great. This Dev Watercooler update, fantastic. But this, it might seem like a small little thing here, but the fact that they're now starting to announce things that were announced in this leak leads me to believe that it's possibly true, this leak, and that they may very well be right about the April to June launch. There was another, let's see. There was something else down here. So, oh yeah, so anyways, the game itself would be launched via Battle.net World of Warcraft, so they just announced that as well. But we pretty much knew that anyways, so, but this is the point where I said in the last video, I said, or the video about the leak, I said you can then switch in the game by pressing a button on the bottom right, which basically says vanilla or might say classic or something like that, which changes the whole browser. So this is something that I want you to watch for at BlizzCon. If we load up, and well, they might not even have this at BlizzCon because it might just be the game itself. They might not even have, you might not even be logging into Battle.net. But the fact that they're now starting to announce things that were not previously, we weren't, you know, we didn't know, we weren't privy to this information before, but now they're starting to announce stuff that this leak has already previously announced. That may give some evidence that this leak actually is a little bit more legit than people were previously, you know, saying. Now, it was also mentioned on the original, I'll give a link to this leak down below, but it was also mentioned in the original thread not long after the guy who posted this. He said that he is friends with somebody that works at Activision, and his friend basically gave him all this information. So go back to my previous video, look at it, or look at the leak below. But this is actually now becoming really, really, really exciting. Actually, we could have World of Warcraft Classic by April or June, between April and June. This leak was the first time that I actually started thinking to myself, "Holy crap, we might get this before the 15-year anniversary." This leak was the first time where I looked at it and said, wow, we're getting a demo this early. They must be getting a lot closer than we think. And the fact that now that they're announcing colorblind mode, it just has me looking at this leak going, oh dear, like this might actually be coming true. I don't want to get too excited, but anyways, everyone, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think that this information here is good news or bad news? Some of the small changes that they made, do you have a problem with it? And let me know what you think about the colorblind mode and whether or not it gives evidence that this leak is actually a little bit more legit than you maybe thought in the past. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. This is just the whole colorblind mode just kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, well, hold on a second here. Anyways, so I wanted to go over that. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing, and please hit the thumbs up, like button. I would really appreciate it. It would really help me out. And I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.